In this tutorial, I'm going to teach you how to use variables and also later on in the tutorial inputs in order to create an interactive story, which is a really fun way of learning variables and inputs in Python. So just to recap, we already know how to use the print statement. We know how to output either string or numeric data or the results of numerical calculations. So you've done all of that. Now we're just going to use the output to output a string, which is the first opening line of the story. I've put a comment above it, and obviously I'm not going to comment when I'm making my tutorials because it'll just take too long and it'll bore you, but I do want you commenting as you go along. So it's going to output who will be our boss. I'm going to do something else as well. I'm going to print an empty bit of space, and under that I'm going to write print who. I'm going to just type a few lines like that. Okay, so what I get is it underlined. You notice there's a space, there's a line below, which is empty. Alright, straightforward so far. I'm going to introduce you now to the idea of a variable. So a variable is essentially a bit of data that's stored for later, and it can be recalled and used within the program, and we can change the variable if we want. We can change what's inside of it, and essentially we can do all sorts of stuff with it. So all variables need a special name. They all have a unique name. They can be spelled lowercase or uppercase. You can't have two variables with the same name. And what it is basically a little way of storing some data, a little chunk of data that's stored somewhere in the memory. We give each one of these chunks of data a name. So I always write var before I name a variable. And what I'm doing now is declaring a variable. So I'm actually telling Python I want a variable made, and this is what's going to go into it. Player, or should we say name1, var name1 equals Kevin. Oh, I wonder where this is going. So do you see I've made a string called Kevin? Okay. And I'm now going to print var underscore name1 comma. So I'm going to use a comma there. Went to London to find a new boss. Okay, why have I said Kevin went to London to find a new boss? Hopefully some of you will tweak what's actually happening here. So if I print now, var name1 contains the text string Kevin, so it should output Kevin went to London to find a new boss, not var name1. It will say whatever's contained with var name1. Look, Kevin went to London to find a new boss. Okay. I can put var name2 here. I could put it in the next line down. It's good practice if you are going to decide on your variables before you run a program to put them all at the top. But you don't necessarily have to do that now. You do need to declare them, which is what I've done there. That's declaring when I say what the value of that variable is. It's a good idea to declare it before you actually call it. So I'm going to write var name2 equals Bob. Okay. I'm going to write print var underscore name2 also went with him. Okay. Okay, I've not put a full stop there. That was naughty. Okay, so you can see that we can use var name1 and var name2, and also we can change the value of these anytime we want. So if I write var underscore name2 equals Stuart. Interesting choice of names, I wonder. var name2 wanted a banana. Okay. So this is anything to do with Minions, perhaps, although I'm not going to be sued by Illumination Studios for flagrantly using their franchise. But you can see how this is working. So Kevin went to London to find a new boss. Bob went with him. Stuart wanted a banana. If you notice, I've used the same variable for Bob, and I've just changed the value of it to Stuart on this line here, and then I've output name to wanted a banana. So you can do these kinds of things, it's not a problem. Okay, let's have a little bit of fun now. So we've learned how to declare a variable, and it's literally something you can store data in. You can also store numbers in it. So if I write miles, or write var underscore miles equals 10, print var underscore name to walked, I'll put a comma there, var miles to get a banana, because the minions love bananas, don't they? So if I do that now, 10, didn't write the word miles there, did I? Silly. So if we run it, see 10 miles. So it's actually outputting number data there. If we write 10 times, actually 10 to the power of 2, so 10 multiplied by 10 essentially, isn't it? And run, we'll get 100 miles, right? 10 to the power of 4. Ooh. So the actual value of that variable is numeric, and you can actually use the output result of a calculation to be stored in it, and then it will use that every time. Okay, so far so good. Right, now I'm going to teach you how to use inputs so we can make the story more interesting now. So I'm going to write var transport equals. Now instead of giving it a string or a numeric value like I've just done above, I'm going to use the word input, right, which is a built-in function in Python, just the same way print is, but don't get them confused. Okay, so what I'm going to do now, I'm going to put some speech marks in, and those speech marks will output a single string. You can't put commas or anything in the input. You can only put a single string, which is a message to the user telling them what to actually write. So choose a method of transport he used. Okay. So what that will do now is this variable will store a word based on what the user of your program actually types in. It's quite clever. And then underneath I'm going to write print. So, comma, var name to used a, alright, var underscore transport. If you can see how this is going, take your time on this if it's a bit too much. And I'm going to put another string in to get a banana. So after this statement then, decided to use instead of used. So we go var name 1 instead, right? Because obviously Stuart walked 10,000 miles to get a banana. That was daft. Instead, I'm going to go for Kevin, having chosen to use something else. So used a, because it makes more sense when you're saying the story. Run. All right. Car. So if I write the word car in there now and press enter, so Kevin used a car to get a banana. What I've done is I've made a variable based on the user's input halfway through the story, and then used that thing typed in by the reader or the user of my program to add to the story. So the aim of this now, I'm going to just show you again. var underscore name 1 color equals input. What was Kevin's favorite color. Right, and underneath it we write print. So, comma, var underscore name one loves the color var underscore name one underscore color. So again, in this bit of the program, I'm asking the user to tell me what the favorite color of one of the characters is. If I run it again, we're plain this time, so that's for this line here, obviously. Yeah. And I'll write enter here, and then so Kevin used a plane to get a banana. What was Kevin's favourite colour? Red. So Kevin loves the colour red. So we're actually starting to build what I'd call an interactive story, and you can, you know, print var name one bought a comma var underscore name one underscore color underscore var transport to find Gru. Whoever Gru is bears no relationship to any film franchise I've ever come across. So as you can see, I've not asked for an input between those two print lines, but I'm going to reuse the variables to create a new sentence. So we'll try again. Method of transport, he used bike. So Kevin used a bike to get a banana. What was Kevin's favourite colour? Blue. So Kevin loves the colour blue. Kevin bought a blue bike to find Gru. So as you can see, I've built up a story, and hopefully you've done this line by line with me. All it takes for you to do now, and I'll just leave that code on the screen down a little bit because you should have already done this. So put that code there. What you should be able to do now is start building an interactive story, and I'm going to leave it to you, and that's what you're going to do in order to develop your Python skills further, and you're going to put your interactive story code as evidence for your teacher.